Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to what might be the most evil episode I've recorded in the history of recording Stellaris. Today, our main goal, our only goal, our true goal, is to take over a planet, either from these fellows up here, or these fellows down here, and turn it into our first Thrall world. Now, we covered briefly what a Thrall world is in the previous video, and it is very, very dark. It's a slave breeding world. It's a world which gives loads of bonuses to the production of owned populations, and very, very little else. Those slaves will then be sold on the marketplace for lots and lots of energy, worth sometimes up to 2,000 energy each. Basically, it's an economic powerhouse at the cost of the freedoms and happiness of others. I'm feeling pretty weird about this video, got to be honest. There's a good chance it's going to get demonetized because of the amount of times I use the word slaves. It has happened before. In fact, it's happened several times in my Stellaris playthroughs, and let's face it, it's probably going to happen again, and if it's ever going to happen again, it's going to be in this playthrough. Well, let's continue with making our dreams a reality by causing the nightmares of others. Now, one thing I've learned is this: we do not need indentured assets in order to have owned populations. In fact, by the looks of things, with how many specialists I'm not getting because of this is actually hindering us more than it's helping us. Now, this would be much better if we had a bit more of a wide playstyle. We are being very, very tall with our playstyle right now, hence why we are superior or overwhelming to every other empire with our tech. We currently have battleships, which have the level 2 main cannon. That's the level 2 spinal mount cannon. They are very powerful. Now, that's not stupidly early in the game, but considering I'm still learning how all these systems work, it's pretty darn good, but we could be doing significantly better if we just had more specialists available. And obviously, owned populations can't be specialists, they can't go above the worker class. I've tried, sadly it just doesn't work. But two things. First of all, like I was saying, I can indeed go down the route of having some owned populations without using this if we simply go into our species and then we go, okay, all of you, well, too bad, you are now fully owned. Which is rather sad, which means we can have at least some if we so desire. But again, I don't really need all that many. Instead, I think I'm just going to upgrade these two and just keep them around, with these being on any science worlds and these just being wherever else. Honestly, I don't really mind them being in the Empire. They've been here for a long time and have actually helped us early on because the migration helped our numbers. One further thing I can do, which I really should have done before, if we go to our tech world. Hello, tech world. Right now, the problem is we have all of these jobs open. We have all of these jobs which could be filled. So what we can do is just resettle. And thankfully, a non-owned population will stay non-owned when they move on over, which means we can easily now grab things from other worlds, any free populations from those worlds, and transfer them over, and in turn, we can trade away the owned populations to planets like our mining world, which gives bonus to miners, things like the working jobs. In fact, here seems to be a perfect example of that. So we have loads of free jobs here for mining, energy generation, and food, and they are full-on specialists, so they could trade some of their specialists with the tech world, and tech world in return could trade some more workers. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, the transfer is complete, although I did leave a few workers behind just to make sure we had enough amenities. So, yep, we just have the bare minimum amount of workers just to keep the specialists happy. And we do have some specialist jobs currently. No, all the jobs are being used. We actually have some unemployed, which is generating some of the crime and unhappiness. But that's fine, because the planet is currently heavily upgrading. We're about to get a new planetary capital, and then all of these will be upgraded. In fact, we could do that now. So planetary capital will give me a new executive, a new ruler, so one of these will jump up. After that, we can add 2 more research stations and then upgrade all the ones we had before. This should really help out with science, since we have more scientists now. We agree, fellow Trade League. A research opportunity would be fantastic for both of us. Thank you. You are aiding the universe in being a better place. Now, let's set up a new crime lab. Lovely. Hello there. And speaking about labs, illicit research labs. You know, I'm starting to think that this science would actually be our science, not their science. I believe that only the jobs are offered to the planet we make these branches. They are very, very cruel. Though we'll find out soon enough. As soon as I have the minerals for it, which I just sold to get the energy for this, which was kind of silly. Goodbye, food. Hello, minerals. But I do like causing crime. The smuggler's port, for instance, that does give me more energy, which we do need at the moment. Because of all these changes, I've put a lot of people who are working energy jobs away from energy jobs, so that was a bit silly of me. Hopefully, as the more worker-heavy worlds develop, we can get more and more technicians. Let's see. Oh, they have very little protection versus crime. In that case, yep, definitely the smugglers. The Ministry of Production. Plus 15% for metallurgists and artisans. That's good to know. That's definitely something for the future, but not here. This is essentially a rural world eventually. It's currently a mining world, but we're getting everything, so it should be a rural world by the end. So what do I really want in a rural world? We already have the bonus to minerals. We are going to add energy. No, we already have the bonus energy as well. Huh. I suppose more clerks would be interesting. That's just energy. Well, it's trade value, which is essentially energy. And even more amenities. Oh, there we go. The food processing facilities. Lovely. Esteemed cash cacti of all the species in the galaxy, you were always our favourite. That is why we have tailored an advantageous trade offer to your needs. Yep, you're just giving me money. I knew we could be friends, you and I. Mostly because you're machines and I can't cause crime on machine worlds. Tell me, would you like to have a non-aggression pact? Let's make sure we're friends for all time, shall we? Apparently I'm not allowed to. Why can't I? Interesting. Why am I not allowed to have a non-aggression pact with you? Oh, are we already in the... Okay, am I associated with your Federation, the Celestial? Okay, what are we? We are indeed with the other one. No. Is it because you're pathetic? Am I simply not allowed to do a non-aggression with a pathetic group? I think it might be. Huh, interesting. Well, glad you like us. No. The cash cacti belong in the cult of Thorn. So I was correct, the corporate buildings do indeed feed into us. This is currently generating Unity, which is indeed going up here, and there we are. Corporate buildings, we're getting Unity from several of these, which is fantastic. I still think it's best to build the smuggler's port first, because plus 50 crime, plus the 25 of the branch office itself, is such a nasty start on the enemy. It takes a long time to take that away. And when you are simply defeating that, that's because you've had to spend so much on... If I can find them... Where are they? There they are, the Enforcers. 6 of them. Which generate a little bit of Unity, but they're very expensive to keep around. The buildings are expensive, and they could be doing something else. So either way, we are a drain on society. Which is fine by me. Currently upgrading our fleet, so we can now use the rank 2 of the main cannon, which is going to be glorious. Now these fellows, let's see what they have. These are our potential enemy, and they are rank 1 weapons. Aha. Do you all... You have rank 3, okay, your lasers are okay, which is fine by us because we're using shields. Like, just shields, and nothing which point defense will work against. You have a greater fleet power? By a little bit, and not for long. But I would say we would crush you in a fight currently. Okay, very soon we're going to war. A little bit sooner than expected. Of course we will trade science with you. We mean no harm to anyone.
This tech had better generate some revenue.
Oh good, genetic modifications abound. So what do I actually want to use here? I guess just... Yeah, the whole population growth from immigration being down is seemingly a lot worse than it used to be. Well, basically what I'm saying is sedentary seems to be worse than sedentary used to be. But the thing is it that bad that I wouldn't like to instead have less housing usage? More science. Oh, more science. There's actually a lot here I want. Yeah. Charismatic has changed as well. Wow. Plus 20% amenities? That's pretty amazing, actually. So I kind of want all of these, and that's the problem. Less consumer goods, that's a lot of money that's going to make up over time. Especially since I want cash cacti in all the leadership roles, which cost more. I don't know, I want all of these things. More engineering, though, that would be good. We can get our autocannons up and running. That's not the one weapon I'm still looking for at the moment. Yeah, okay. We're also now natural engineers, and this will cost us a small fortune. Oh, no it won't. Only 8,000. That is way less than expected. Okay, continue. We're getting so much more energy now. I've started to micromanage the planets a lot better, and things are looking good. Now, one thing I have to say is that you don't need to build a building every time you see a building slot for building. You just don't need to build this. It really can be a little bit wasteful, at least if you're going like I am, and that is having quite a lot of slave workers, because they can't even move up into the next job. Now, this is a terrible example, because this time it actually does have some space for some more specialists, but a second ago, like this one, there's no need. I literally don't have any more populations to be specialists, so I'm just waiting around now until our population catches up with all the jobs. It's because these are so heavily upgraded. They're giving 10 jobs each, which is more than enough for a very, very long time. Oh no, what a terrible selection. All of you have native privilege, xenophobe ethics attraction. Oh, xenophobe, I thought that said xenophilic. I thought you were all nice people. Never mind. Of course they're not nice, they're cash cacti, they're horrible. I don't mind who gets elected then. You have fun, fellas, you have fun. You know, I never did rate this particularly highly, the nihilistic acquisition. The notion of self-determination cannot be a moral absolute. Goals clearly outweigh individual concerns. Unlocks the raiding bombardment stance, which in turn allows us to abduct populations from besieged planets and resettle them on our own worlds. With the new market system, that just became very, very profitable. And as we know, profits are very nice. There are so many other things I want. Wait, we can already get this? Thus shall we make a world of the city and a city of the world. Oh, that is so cool. We can already get this as soon as we finish off Harmony. Well, we're also currently researching the Ascension project, which will give us another Ascension perk. Oh, there are so many things for us to play with. When did I accidentally accept this? I'm sure I declined this. We have a migration treaty with them. I was just looking over my empire, and suddenly I noticed these two fellows just, you know, chilling. No! No! We just want cacti! Cacti worlds for cacti people! My god, you're growing everywhere! Why are you everywhere? We've been infected. Not a single one of my planets is growing a cacti! Are you kidding me? I don't want to make sure we only grow one planet. It slows one species. It slows down the growth process by 20%. Is it because of migration, though? Is that why it's so quick? I mean, that is really... Ooh, that is really quick. 5.77 per month. That is really quick. Suddenly I am tempted to allow you to stay. From immigration. No, that can't be right? Cloning? Now, cloning, I think, may be a science. Okay, I am unsure why you are all growing so fast. Is it just you? Okay, let's find out. Pop, you are now the cacti. No, we're apparently just growing you. Oh, we've got loads of bonuses before, haven't we? Yeah, we're just faster. Okay, never mind. Everyone only grows cacti from now on. I don't care if it slows it down, these are clearly a much more beneficial species. I'm sorry, fellows, but look at how many benefits they have. And they are psychic. Oh, this is going to hurt so much. Minus 20% growth rate on every single planet. I mean, especially the tech world, though. We need more of these. They have the latent psionic ability, which gives them 5% to all research. We're not even that particularly good at research ourselves. We're still better than everyone else. And we have better habitability. I've just discovered a problem with our plan, and it's a very, very annoying one. So, what is the problem, I hear you ask? Well, if we have a look at our claims, Our claim is strength 1. Our minions' claim is strength 10. And the only way to increase it, from what I can see, is to pay another 208 influence, which gives another 1 point to us. We are never getting this world, is what I'm saying, which is incredibly annoying. Now, does that mean I'm simply not going to attack these fellows? Well, no, it doesn't mean that at all. In fact, I'm probably going to save up 75 influence and then go straight for this sector all the way in here instead. And then I might help our ally take this area because, well, then our ally is stronger and that is good for all of us. So I'm just going to wait around now for a while, move these fellows into position, and then I'm going to take a planet in the middle of their systems. Now, of course, I could just go out and attack someone else instead, like maybe over here. I could actually afford this right now. The problem is, these are allies of so many other people, the war would be an absolute nightmare. Now, none of their allies are that strong, at least are not as strong as us, I should say. They are allied with 2 other empires, one of which is all the way down here, and is pathetic and thus wouldn't help at all, but it's also allied with this empire, the second strongest in the game right now. Still inferior, but within striking range. And it would be an absolute nightmare because I'll be attacked on both fronts when all I want is a single planet. So, I'm going to wait for a few months. It's fine. And on the upside, we now have Ascension Theory, which I'm going to spend on Transcendence. There we are. The veil has been lifted, which means our population should now have a greater bonus. Yes, indeed they do. From 5% bonuses to all sciences and energy to a 10% bonus. Oh, and 5% happiness as well. Nice. And are our leaders any better? Yes, they are. Wow, bonus 10% research speed. Okay, you two, you're gone. I'm replacing both of you with cash cacti. You know, I feel like having such greater tech than the enemy. By the way, they are actually pathetic to us in tech. And what's going on here? Why is an inferior above the equivalent? That's weird. I was about to say, I haven't restarted the game in a while, because once you restart the game, this... I think it goes to a name one or something else. Either way, it's not relative power. Well, that is very weird. Anyway, I just went ahead and I finally made the claim I wish. So soon we're going to have a little planet here in the middle of everything, and then claims are going to be so much cheaper because of lack of distance. Ooh, a megastructure. Ooh, ring world. Beautiful. Okay, so then. Now, I have found out one horrible problem. You can't go to war with someone who you have branch offices with. I don't think this makes sense. Honestly, I've got to say, just from my standpoint, I don't think this makes sense for a criminal branch office. Why would we need to shut this down? Sure, it's being run by cash cacti, but they don't want us here anyway. I'm sure they're trying to get rid of us either way. It's not like this is a welcome addition. It just seems a bit odd to me, that's all. Either way, though, even though this is by far my most powerful of all the branch offices, bye-bye. That is very sad. Perhaps it does make sense and I'm just looking at it weirdly, but to me, that just seems weird. Now,
let's pick us some low-hanging fruit.
I like that guy. Anyway, before we get into the war itself, I want to make ourselves a little bit stronger. Not only do we have way more tech than they have, as I was saying earlier, but now I'm going to increase our kinetic weapon damage, I am going to increase our shield hit points, and I am going, if we have enough resources, to increase our energy weapon damage. Okay, we need a little bit more money for that. In fact, I'll buy some of you, and I'll buy some of you. I'll sell some food, because we have loads. There we are. Back to edicts. Okay, so extra energy weapon damage, and we are now speeding up. Sensor range. Okay, go on then. Ooh, look, we have ambitions for the future. Scientific revolution, that's going to be immensely powerful. Okay, but for now, that should buff our fleet very, very soon, and then we go to war. I believe it affects us straight away. I'm hoping it does anyway. Otherwise, that'd be a waste of money.
Construction complete.
Oh, yeah, there we go, 19,000. They can't stand a chance. If all their fleets attacked us at the same time, our fleet would still utterly devastate them. So, let's just get here to this planet. How big is the planet? It's kind of tiny, but that's fine. We'll be selling off the population as they grow anyway. We met no resistance on the way, and we are now bombarding the planet. Now, normally, I'd be a little bit upset that we are destroying buildings, perhaps destroying the districts. I don't know how that works, but still, we're doing some serious damage. But the thing is, I actually need to remove all these buildings and regular districts anyway before we can turn it into a Thrall world. So, bomb away. Still going to take a while, though. So, I'll just rest and wait. Ooh, are you going to try and defend? Lovely.
Booyah! Enemy planet incorporated.
Beautiful. Welcome, welcome one and all to the Legion. Okay, now, currently can't do peace offers because, okay, just not enough war exhaustion yet, so we really do need to kill their ships. Now, almost all of these have claims by our allies, so what I'm going to do is take over these two, so we have easy access back into this sector once it's ours. And we'll do this as well, and hopefully we'll fight their ships at some point. Now, you fellows, could you please be landing forces and just land over there? Ah, you silly, silly fellows. Don't you understand? You don't have the technology to even understand our purpose. Did we just one-shot one of your ships? That's glorious. Fire the long-range cannons, break them apart. They don't even have battleships yet, by the way, and we are using spinal mount weapons on ours. It's just so beautiful. It's like Plants vs. Zombies, except for the plants are very heavily capitalist and the zombies are fighting for their life. Who knows, maybe that's actually a background story for Plants vs. Zombies. I'm having so much fun right now because it finally feels playing Thrall is paying off at last. Ooh, now what are you fighting? Oh, they're transports! They're completely defenseless transports. Well, yeah, as soon as the Corvettes get in range, they're just dead. Well, they'll finally teleport away, one of the two. Okay, we can almost force status quo. If anything starts to threaten this planet, I will instantly just allow status quo because I don't really care about our allies getting stronger over here, but it would be nice still. It would be nice for them to be stronger. They're very slowly starting to like us. And we can talk to the void! Later, though. Later. Not right now. We've got other things to focus on. Also, we really need to build some resource silos at the moment. We have nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough at all. And, can I afford one over here? Probably not, because the station's too small. Planets, do you have resource silos? Good, 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 good. Let's grab some of those, then, because we need way more minerals to turn planets into city planets. Which is going to be really, really cool. Why did I never upgrade this one? Oh yeah, I built this and then completely forgot about its existence. Well, good job I'm doing this now then. Get off my new property! Okay, they keep on respawning and they've tried to send a few transport ships. I claim this war to be over. For now. We will accept this for now. Goody, we have a new faction. Okay, so this planet then. Let's see how this works. So, we don't want the penal colony, although that would work as well in terms of just the idea. Where are you? There we are, the Thrall world. Must have at least one population from a fully enslaved species. That will happen in a second. The planet must be unspoiled by district and building development, so we need to demolish everything then. Okay, so let's start this off. So, species. The new fellows, which are not you, you. Set rights, and we'll just go ahead and do that. We will also genetically modify you right this second, because we want you to be able to breed faster. My god, this is so dark, isn't it? It's just, the level of dark here is just insane. Yep, okay. Apply that to all of them. Do that now, thank you very much. Okay, the rest of the planet, so resettle. So we're going to resettle everyone who isn't you fellows. So we need to figure out which planets would really benefit from more people right now. Thankfully, destroying buildings is instant, and it turns out one of our lovely, lovely industrial worlds could have definitely done well with more people. I just need to build a few more things so that the people aren't living on the streets. After that, all is good. Everything else is being upgraded as well. So then, let's see how this works. Create Thrall world. Okay, that's done. So now populations are growing faster, as you would expect. So what's the difference then? This world is purpose-built to maximize the growth rate of its population, hence the huge population growth speed bonus. And now we should have special buildings. There we are, slave huts. Oh, yep, loads of housing, but then nothing else. Overseer's residence. Oh, I guess I should put some rulers here, shouldn't I? Yeah, I need to transfer some rulers. Okay. So currently we're declining because, well, we've got nothing to entice new people here. Actually, why would the population completely decline? Is it just because of happiness? Or is it also because of population and such? No species are going to be forced to decline. Okay, I need to figure out a few things, so I'm just going to mess around and, well, learn some stuff. Okay, so what's happening is now everyone is at least housed. They are working as toilers. Toilers perform the gruesome menial labour required to keep crude infrastructure of this Thrall world running, and that will modify amenities. Everyone else who isn't working in that will work any of the regular districts which are allowed to be built here. Now I'm thinking perhaps all I had to do was destroy the city districts, not the others. Oh well, my bad. It's fine. And the good thing is, if we look here, it turns out the overseers are not, well, they're not meant to be the other species. Yeah, I misread that completely. These relatively privileged slaves keep their less fortunate brethren in line. Yet these are the ones who are being bribed. Whoops. Still, I'm going to build up all these districts, and this will be a very profitable world indeed. Yep, they are now indeed growing very quickly. The world is officially up and running. Welcome to our first slave world. Did I mention we're not the good guys? Because we kind of aren't. Oh, also I accidentally allowed pirates to spawn because I forgot I had sent this small fleet with the main fleet and merged them. Yeah. My bad. I'm finally upgrading some of these stations to have gun batteries. Well, more specifically, this one here is going to have gun batteries and thus it can defend all along here. No more need for patrol. So our fleet can just go with the main fleet from now on.
Complete.
So I found out something. In order to do the archaeology project, you need all slots on the district must be filled with city districts. So yeah, we're building loads of city districts right now. It feels like I may have chose wrong trying to make a brand new world into this. But still, the other planets now, I feel like I've gone down certain routes too much and I don't really want to turn any of these into those, so I am just going to focus solely on... Ooh, lovely, look, things. Yay, 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 you. So, I found out something quite annoying. With planets such as this, if you want to turn it into an archaeology project, or sorry, use the archaeology project on it, well, you need every single district to be a city district. Yeah, I don't think it's worth doing it to a new planet, but that was the plan, so I'm sticking with it. Also, I don't want to change any of the planets we already have into only city districts. Although, I mean, we could do that to the tech world, right? We have no other districts. We are only building city districts because we want housing for science. Maybe I could just turn that other planet into a regular planet then this would be that. Housing, resource production, and pop growth are all increased, at the expense of the planet's natural resources, which we aren't using anyway. Oh. Okay then. I'd already stacked up some of these because we had capped out on minerals, so... Sure. What am I going to do with the other planet then? We could have a second Thrall world. Here's the thing. I didn't realise that Thrall worlds are also pretty good for generating regular resources. for very, very cheap, and the population growth is insane. We could just have a second Thrall world. All we'd need to do is move over a single one of those other species, and then we can instantly do the conversion. Okay, sure. We're making a second Thrall world. And getting loads of minerals back in the process. Okay, so let's sort this out. There we are. A second Thrall world has now been created. We're getting really evil with this stuff, aren't we? Just gonna test out the overall price we'll get for these lovely fellows. Goodbye. 1,200 energy per time. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, mighty Shroud. Are we doing the right thing by doing such unsavory acts in order to withstand our own freedoms? I would like increased lifespans. Thank you! The Shroud has spoken by granting our leaders even longer lives to enjoy the luxuries our empire provides. Now, the other good thing is this. Because all the specialist roles are now fulfilled, every time we get a new population, they will instantly become a worker. So all of that economy is coming back. It's just going to take a while. But in the meantime, again, that much research is huge. That's going to massively increase our lead on everyone, which is really, really good. And since the economy is going to come back eventually, I don't think it's worth changing that back. Now, what we could do, if this problem goes too far, what we can do, which will also make sure the cash cacti are always in better positions, is we could enslave certain populations, as in all the snails suddenly become forced workers. And you know what, that might not be a terrible idea. That would alleviate the problem currently, and then allow the new cash cacti to always become specialists. And it's still beneficial from before, because remember, the cash cacti are much more powerful in positions of research than the snails are. So we kind of always wanted that anyway. Yeah, throw those down, throw those up, then we have loads more workers. Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's a weird balancing act. I still haven't got it right, obviously, but we will get there eventually. Remember, I am still learning. I'm still messing around a lot of the time. In the future, I'll be much better at this, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. Minerals and food are almost back to normal just by doing that one small change. And our science has been slightly affected because, yeah, the roles are now unfulfilled again on this planet. But now every time we get a new cash cacti on this planet, they will become scientists. Okay. If only Thorn could see us now. I think I've finally achieved what I was going for. And it only took like 20 minutes of micromanaging because I'm very bad at this and still very much learning. So, as you can tell, the rulers are cash cacti, the specialists. Oh look, they are indeed cash cacti. But what do we have here in the worker section? Well, in the worker section, we have all the other species, and the other species are indeed now all enslaved, and I've just realised for some reason I've had these turned off. Well, that's a mistake on my part. In a second I'll get them back. So the idea is, on all of our main planets, we only grow cash cacti. The cash cacti will take specialist and ruler positions. Then our Thrall worlds, which will reproduce the slave species very quickly, will then work the working positions. And my God, just saying this stuff, we are so morally bankrupt. Like, you can't be proud of this. It is truly horrific. We are becoming just the most evil little thing. Okay. I think I've got it now. So, as I was saying before, we are only growing cash cacti on our main planets. The cash cacti will take positions of rulers and specialists. And slowly, they will become more and more specialized with their specialist buildings, and less dependent on the districts. The Thrall planets will do two things. Three things, actually. First thing is they will generate the workers needed for the main planets. Second thing, they will generate their own resources because they still do good work. You can still have the slave processing facility, you still have regular districts, you can still make quite a lot of money from them. And third, if we do have an overflow or we need energy quickly, Well, you're looking at about 1,200 energy each, which is pretty nice. On the Thrall worlds as well, you don't need to have a special, a single species being grown, because they will only grow the owned population, nothing else, by default. In fact, what I want to check out, is there any way, if we go into our policies, not our edicts, about our regular worlds, is there any way to say, you can only grow cash cacti, that way we're not doing the whole specific growth thing, and that should speed up growth, but I don't know if that's actually a thing which is possible. Ooh, look at this. Well, here's something. We could allow our people to eat more food, which passively increases their happiness and their growth speed. I'm okay with that, since we currently have excess food anyway. And we can always grab more food if we need it. Yeah, I can't see it. Although, I think I finally found out the problem with one of our factions. We had robotic workers allowed. That's what was making the spiritualists upset. Even though we haven't actually built a robot, because that was set to that, it was making them upset. One last thing before we go, I just sold all of the excess consumer goods, and now we are once again rich, which is glorious. What I'm doing is I am increasing growth on all of the planets, because remember, now we are only growing cash cacti, as all we want are specialists. And so let's do that. In fact, we could also do this on every single planet to increase the happiness. Yeah, the stability is now so much higher. Because we have the cash cacti in the correct position, then all workers own populations, which have less influence on that. Yeah, all of our planets are looking so much better. I think this is the way to go with this particular very, very, very evil build. I really do. Also, I don't know why I just bought so much food then. That was a little bit excessive, but sure, fine. I'm getting very tired, as you can tell. Okay, nothing else really to do here, just increasing the growth speed here as well. That's fine. That's not quite as fast as expected because of emigration. Ah. Missing a cash cacti here, so let's fix this planet. And I'll double check everywhere else as well. There we go, back to regular speed. Essentially, because we had the low stability, because of only one ruler, we were losing out, so that's fine. One thing we do need, though, and I think I'm building it, yep, the Overseer residence. As soon as that's up as well, that will make sure stability does not drop any lower. Okay, so with that and my head hurting from all the new things I need to learn about this game, I'm afraid I really am all out of time for today's video. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Very soon we are needing to go to war with our neighbours over here because, well, yeah, they've taken over way too much of our space. Thankfully, they are very close though, so claims are also very, very cheap. So we can easily take this section, turn it into a vassal, or, I don't know, perhaps just keep it for a bit of an extra economy boost. I really don't know. Either way, though, I clearly need sleep because I can no longer pronounce words. Even words which I normally can pronounce, which admittedly, not the most. Anyway, thank you for watching, have a lovely night, goodbye.